And good afternoon, everyone. Spokane Steve here. And it's time once again for Strat-O-Matic Baseball, 1966, the final game of May the 25th. That's going to pit the Kansas City Athletics against the Washington Senators here in Washington. Senators have won the first two games of this three-game set. And let's take a look at the starting pitchers for today's game. But first, let's take a look at the chat, see who's here. Hello there, Franklin's here. We may get a stinker. You never know, Franklin. Michael's here. Kelly. Hello, Mike. Live from the Mookie Dome in lovely downtown Spokane, it's Strat-O-Matic Baseball. Yeah, there's Jeff. The markets took a beating. Yeah, no comment. I'm not in the market. I don't know anything about that. So I'll stick to what I do know a little bit about, and that's baseball. That is unfortunate, however. I'll tell you one thing I did do for my mom when her husband passed almost 2 years ago now. We pulled everything out of the investment portfolio and put it into, what do you call that, CDs with a little bit in mutual funds. Figuring at her age, take your guaranteed 5% and don't play around. And that brings us to our game. And stock's always a gamble. Strat-O-Matic always a gamble, as you never know which way the dice are going to land. American League leader in ERA right now is Fred Talbot. Okay, and he's going to start for Kansas City today. Let's take a look at that. Okay, we've got a little time here. First, we'll take a quick look at our standings. You can see Kansas City at 21-13, just 2.5 games back, tied with Cleveland. Senators at 17-19, sitting at 7.5 back. But really what I wanted to show you, and it hasn't changed that much if you follow the stats updates, which I did one fairly recently. Let's get down to pitching. There you go. There's your American League ERA leaders. Fred Talbot, way out in front at 1.46. Sam McDowell, not surprisingly. We've seen McDowell's card and his dominant performance so far, especially in strikeouts. But Talbot actually leading the league in earned run average to this point. Right-hander Diego Segui will take the mound for the Senators. Worth noting here is that Talbot will finish the year with the Yankees. So, yeah, the Kansas City sell-off is coming up very soon. And hello to Bill Ivemy. Excuse me. Let's take a look at the pitchers in the replay. We already know about Talbot's ERA. He's 3-1. This is his 8th start. He has one complete game. It was a shutout. For Segui, the results not quite as good. 1-2 with a 4.50 ERA. He's made 3 starts, 2 relief appearances, just 18 innings of work for Segui, so very small sample size. You can look at the cards, and it's not hard to see at a glance that Talbot has way outperformed his card. In fact, on the surface, cards sort of similar. Talbot rated 6 for endurance, Segui a 5. And up in the right corner of the score sheet here, you can see where Mookie got a hold of it after yesterday's game. I thought about getting a new one, but I'm so waste averse, and it doesn't really affect anywhere where I have to write. This is the flip side, of course, of yesterday's game, which was a really good game, 5-4 in 10 innings. The Cardinals pulled it out against the Cubs. And a welcome to Rick, and a welcome to Thomas. Thomas is hardwood heaven, of course. Can't believe I remember that, actually. Let's see here. We're a little bit off on the... when I pulled it out to check the stats. Let's line that up a little better. There we go. Excuse me, got my coffee here. Okay. 2 to the ball game. Here's the lineup for Kansas City. Wayne Causey will lead it off and play short. Ken Harrelson is at first base. Mike Hirschberger in right field. Billy Bryan will do the catching and hit cleanup. Larry Stahl is in left. Dick Green at second base. Ed Charles down at third base. Joe Nosek in center field. And Talbot the pitcher. Washington in the field. They'll have Casanova doing the catching. Bob Chance gets the start at first. Saverin, Brinkman, McMullen round out the infielder. Howard, Locke, and Valentine left to right in the outfield. Yeah, Bill, you got it. The Mookie wing of the Hall of Fame. Finding more and more that anything that's paper, I have to put it away. Ouch, Ben, and welcome, Ben, by the way. Yeah, it's... all I know is that they fluctuate. You might do just as well betting on sports, which a lot of people are doing these days. I've done it before. Gave it up. On my income now, I can't afford to take any chances. Not complaining, that's just the way it is. And here we go, Segui ready to go to work today. Wayne Causey stands in. Causey hitting 187 so far. Does not have a home run. Left-handed hitting infielder. Segui with the windup and the pitch, and we are underway on a 6-7. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Down goes Causey. And off we go. That's kind of my opinion, Ben, my very uninformed opinion, I should say. And here's Ken Harrelson now. Harrelson hitting 250. 1 home run, 8 RBIs for the Hawk. Segui into the windup. That's going to be a 6-10 right-handed. It's a grounder to shortstop, fielded by Eddie Brinkman, who wings it across to Chance. 2 down. And that's going to bring up Mike Hirschberger, the right fielder. Mike hitting 241 so far, just 1 homer, 15 runs batted in. The pitch from Segui is a 3-5 right-handed. It's a 2-hopper to third, backhanded by McMullen, across to Chance, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Diego Segui. So a quick half inning. It's Kansas City nothing, and Washington coming to bat. Looking at the team batting averages, Kansas City at 251, Washington 231. Washington, however, has hit 36 home runs, Kansas City only 10. On the other hand, Kansas City leads the major leagues in team stolen bases with 35. They only been caught 7 times. Washington just 13-2 in that category. As far as pitching goes, Kansas City leads the American League with a 3.20 team ERA, but Washington very good as well with a 3.52, and that's where we're at so far. And Fred Talbot will take his warm-ups. Let's go over the Washington lineup. Fred Valentine will be in right field leading off. Remember, he had been playing center. Bob Savarin at second base. Don Locke is in center. Frank Howard in left field in the cleanup spot. Bob Chance will be at first base hitting fifth. Ken McMullen down at third. Paul Casanova the catcher. Eddie Brinkman at short hits eighth with Segui in the 9 spot. Athletics have Brian catching. Harrelson, Green, Causey, and Charles first to third in the infield. Stahl, Nosek, and Hirschberger left to right in the outfield. And I tell you, Michael Haynes, they were telling me that when I was a teenager working at my first grocery store. So it sounds like that's something that has been at least relatively stable and safe throughout time. My dad would have said property, real estate. But again, on Social Security and a small pension, I'm a renter, by the way, so yeah. At my age, there's really not much can do that's going to change anything drastically. Okay, here's Valentine now. Valentine, the leading hitter on the Washington Ball Club, at a .305 average. 6 home runs, 13 RBIs, the switch hitter hitting lefty against Talbot. Here's Talbot now into the windup. That's going to be a 4-9 left-handed fly ball into straightaway center. Nosek ranging back. He's there, 1 down. Here's Bob Savarin now, switch hitting second baseman. Savarin, 274, just 17 for 62 in limited play, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. He has been playing more of late at second base. Batting lefty against Talbot. Here's the pitch now. It's a 4-10 left-handed, and Savarin goes the other way with it and drops a single into left field. 1 out single for Savarin. Let's check the battery now for Kansas City. Talbot with a fine -2 hold. But Brian with a horrible +3 arm. That's going to be a +1 battery. That would make Savarin a 14. And they're not going to hold him. He's got that 11 automatic caught. And Don Locke's going to come up now. Locke hitting just 186 so far, 1 home run. Talbot working out of the stretch. That's going to be a 110 right-handed. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Back is Stahl at the track, at the wall. It's gone. Home run, Don Locke. And just like that, it's 2-0 Senators. Let's take another look. 110 right-handed, no doubt about it. And for Don Locke, just his 2nd home run of the season. As I said, that makes it 2-0. Hang on, I'm trying to catch up with this now. You know, Ben, I'm with you on that. What are my goals? My goal is just to maintain the status quo, hopefully. And with another rent increase, that gets more difficult. I am on several waiting lists for senior assisted living, however. Not assisted living, I'm sorry, that came out wrong. Rental assistance for seniors, not assisted living. Independent living in a fixed senior community. Jeff got a weird reply telling you you're getting bad advice. I'm 72 and have played this brilliant game every year. I've completed 8 seasons. Well, bad advice as opposed to what? Okay, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, Jeff, but I think you, like me, this isn't a race, okay? If my goal were to knock out a bunch of seasons, I can do that on the computer game anytime I want. In fact, we're going to have a 1982 stat update coming up probably tomorrow. What is he saying you should have played more replays by now? That's what I'm getting out of this. Here's Howard now. Howard at 287, 3 homers, 15 RBIs. Talbot with the pitch on a 2-9 righty, called strike 3. Down goes Howard. Shylock rings him up. And there's 2 away. That's going to bring up Bob Chance. Chance has been out of the lineup for a while. And at just 4 for 22 on the season, not hard to see why. Left-handed batter. Talbot's pitch is a 4-12, and he loses him ball 4. A 2-out walk to Chance. And that'll bring up Ken McMullen. Oh, how to play it? Well, yeah, I quote Baseball Demos Dave on that one. Play the game you want to play the way you want to play it. I've had some comments on my play too. You should do this or you should do that. It's fine. It's all well-meaning, I'm sure. But this is the way I play. And when you're trying to do a broadcast, it's best not to overcomplicate it. It's hard enough doing basically 2 things at once. So here's McMullen hitting 232, 6 homers, 16 RBIs. Talbot comes in there on a 3-5. It's a grounder down to third base. Charles fields it cleanly, throws over to Harrelson, and the side is retired. However, the Senators strike for 2 runs on 2 hits, a 2-run home run by Don Locke. And after an inning of play, they lead it 2-0. So that'll put a little ding in Talbot's league-leading earned run average. And the batter will be Billy Bryan leading off the second for Kansas City. I think I forgot to give you the... No, I didn't. I gave you the Washington lineup. Bryan just 10 for 59. That's a 169 average. 1 home run. Diego Segui into the windup. That's going to be a 6-11 left-handed. A grounder down to first base. Chance will take it himself. And there's 1 away. Here's Stahl now. Larry Stahl on the season, 250. 2 homers, 10 RBIs for the left-handed hitting outfielder. Segui gets the sign from Casanova. That's a 1-7 fly ball into straightaway center. Locke gliding over to his right and hauls it in. Locke ranges over to make the catch, and with 2 down, here's Dick Green. Green at 277 on the year, 2 home runs, leads the club in RBIs at 23. And here's Segui's pitch to Green on a 5-7. It's a double to 8 on a 5. That's going to roll to the wall. That's going to be extra bases. Green into second standing with a 2-out double. Good advice there, Rick. Just enjoy it. That's the whole point of it. And Joe makes it before the third. How about that? Welcome, Joe. Yeah, Jeff, your games are fine. I wouldn't. Just want you can. I mean, take advice, but I wouldn't get too hung up on any criticisms. Here's Ed Charles with a runner in scoring position and 2 down. Charles hitting .253 so far. 1 homer, 13 RBIs. Here's the pitch now from Segui. That's going to be a 2-7 righty. He bangs a base hit the other way. That's down in front of Valentine in right. Green rounding. He's a 13-15. Valentine -1, 14. They're sending him. The throw to the plate on a 14. He's in there. Just barely on a 13. And Charles, a 16 runner, will take second on the throw. That'll be an RBI single for Ed Charles. So a 2-out rally here for Kansas City. That makes it a 2-1 ball game. And Joe Nosek will come to bat. Nosek just 2 for 22 so far. It's been a struggle for Joe. Segui trying to get out of this inning now. The pitch to Nosek on a 6-5 right-handed. He lifts one the other way to right field. Valentine barely has to move and gloves it for the final out. Athletics get a run on 2 hits and leave a man. And we've got a 2-1 game going to the bottom of the second. Here's Talbot now. I tell you, it's been a busy week for me. Tires yesterday, doctor's appointment this morning. Need to get some Christmas cards out. That's on my list to complete this evening. If they go in the mail on the 19th, well, I've got a shot, right? I'd say a decent shot of them arriving by the 24th. If not, oh well, I tried. Here's Casanova leading off the bottom of the second. Casanova just 188 on the year, 2 homers, 6 RBIs. Talbot into the windup. That's going to be a 6-3 right-handed. It's a comebacker, grounded to the pitcher X. Talbot a 4E15. Here's the roll on the play. On a 7, it's the E range. The roll of an 8. What did I say he was? On a 15, he makes the play and throws him out. Nice grab by Talbot. 1-3X. Casanova retired. And here's Eddie Brinkman, the shortstop. Brinkman hitting .255 so far. 2 homers, 17 RBIs out of the 8th spot. Pretty good for Eddie. I just saw Michael's comment. 1 away, the pitch to Brinkman is a 3-10 right-handed. That's going to go down over the third base bag and into the corner. Stahl chasing it down, gets away from him. Brinkman rounding headed for third, and he is in there with the daily triple. How about that? Let's take another look. 3-10 righty, triple to 14. He rolls the 10, and for Eddie Brinkman, that is his 3rd triple of the season. He's teasing me about my doctor's appointment, I think. They did a couple of x-rays, which turned up absolutely nothing. That's par for the course. And they said that might happen, in which case orthopedic would be the next recommendation. But by then, it's going to be the first of the year, and I'm changing Medicare Advantage plans, so I'm going to have to go back to square one, most likely. With 1 out and a runner on third, let's check the bunting rating on Segui. He's a D, so Segui a poor bunter. They're going to play back, and Segui will hit away. Here's the pitch from Talbot on a 4-4. That's catcher's card X. This could be tough. It's Billy Bryan. He's a 4E12. With a runner on third, it's going to be a 17, and sure enough, it's a pass ball and a pop out, and the run will score on the pass ball. Now, Brinkman crosses the plate to make it 3-1. Pass ball charge to Billy Bryan. Two down, and Fred Valentine will come up. Valentine 0 for 1. Talbot into the windup. It's a 5-5 lefty. It's a fly ball into straightaway left field. Stahl ranging over to make the grab, and that will do it in the second. Washington adds on a run on one hit, nobody left on. Senators lead it 3-1. I don't remember if I mentioned or not. Third of a 3-game series. The Senators have won the first 2. They're looking for the sweep against a Kansas City club that you would have to say has overachieved to this point in the season. I think we're all kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop there, right? You never know. I mean, it's a dice game. And Talbot will lead off the third. Right-handed batter. Seguy's pitch on a 5-5 is a fly ball to straightaway center. Coming in a bit is Locke, and he's there to make the catch. That's going to bring up Wayne Causey. Causey struck out against Seguy his first time up. Seguy, the sign from Casanova. The pitch to Causey is a 5-6 left-hander. That's going to be a slow roller to second. Savarin charging it, gloves it. Sidearm flip to Chance, and he is out. Here's Ken Harrelson now 0 for 1. Diego Seguy with the windup. The pitch to Ken is a 6-10 right-handed. That's going to be a ground ball towards the middle. Brinkman there to cut it off. Throws to Chance, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Seguy. Diego Seguy pitching very well to this point, and his team on top 3-1. Bill wanted to ask how much prep time is involved. Oh, I would say roughly 30 minutes to make out the score sheet and then check things such as what relievers are unavailable, who are the starting pitchers going to be for each team in the next 3 games. Once in a while, looking up something of interest that I might want to throw in. For example, in this game, John Wyatt is unavailable. And now I have to remember which team he's on. He's on Washington, isn't he? No, he isn't. He's on Kansas City. See, there you go. I don't even know what team he's on. There he is. I turned him upside down. See, there's the Kansas City pen. There's Wyatt flipped upside down, and there's the starting pitchers turned upside down. And then, of course, the hitters on the bench in a separate pile. That's how I do it. Savarin, Locke, and Howard do as we go to the bottom of the third. Washington leads it 3-1. Savarin singled his first time up. Talbot now into the windup. That's a 1-6 right-handed, and Savarin grounds one right up the middle and into center field for a single, and Bob Savarin 2 for 2 today. Again, not held at 14. He's going to try for the lead. We're going to gamble. 6 or 7 to get it. He's out on 11. He does not get it. And here's the next pitch to Locke. That's a 1-6 right-handed. It's a high fly ball to deep left field. Going back is Stahl at the track at the wall. Leaps up, and it just does clear the wall for a Don Locke home run. His second of the ball game. Another 2-run blast by Don Locke. Holy smoke. Locke had his Wheaties today. Locke came into the game with just 1 home run on the season. He's hit 2 here today. 2 more RBIs for Locke. He has 4 now. And that makes the score 5-1 Washington. Here is Howard now, struck out his first time against Talbot. Talbot's pitch is a 6-4 right-handed. It's a grounder to third base X. That'll be for Charles. Charles a 3E18, ranging to his left. The roll is a 7. It's the E range. It's an 8 on an 18, and he makes the play and throws him out. So 5-3X, that's the first out. Bob Chance, who walked his first time up. The pitch is a 4-2 left-handed. That's going to be a fly ball into right field. Hirschberger drifting back. He's there, and there's 2 away. That'll bring out McMullen. Ken McMullen 0 for 1. Talbot ready now. Here's the pitch. It's a 1-8 right-handed. It's a ground ball into the hole. It's short. Kazi is there. Plants and throws in time, and the side is retired. 2 more runs for the Senators on Don Locke's second home run of the day. After 3 innings of play, the Senators lead it 5-1. I'm going to turn the heat down and then catch up on the chat. I see we have a question here from Bill. Two dice pop out at the same time. You mean pop out of the tray? And Michael Haynes, what? Is this like Jeopardy? You're giving me the answer and I'm supposed to name 4 of the top 10 cereal brands of all time. No, it'd be Jeopardy. I'm sorry. It would be, what are 4 of the top 10 cereal brands of all time? Out of the tray. No, I never have. Bill, usually it's just one. I'm thinking about that now. Yeah, don't know why that would be. My guess would be because when one goes out, it's usually because it ricochets off of another. Don't you think? I mean, I never really thought much about it. I would say if they're all hitting the surface, though, they're not going to go anywhere. It's when they collide with each other, right? I think. Again, that's just a guess. It'll be the heart of the Kansas City order here in the 4th inning. Hirschberger, Bryan, and Stahl. Oh, I got you. Okay, for Don Locke. He had them all. Oh, Michael, what are we going to do with you? Oh, that's funny. Okay, the 4th inning we go. Hirschberger 0 for 1. Diego Segui into the windup. Pitch to Hirschberger is a 3-11 right-handed. That's a base hit into right field. Leadoff single for Hirschberger. Just the 3rd hit against Segui so far today. Hirschberger, good speed on the bases, star 16. Let's check the Washington battery. Segui is 0, Casanova -1. That would make Hirschberger a 15. He will be held on. That'll make him a 13. And here's Billy Bryan now. Bryan 0 for 1. Segui from the stretch. Here's the pitch now to Bryan. It's a 5-10. It's a grounder to shortstop X. This could be 2. Brinkman at 2E29. The roll on the play is the 13. Brinkman has it, goes to Savarin for 1 to first. Not in time. Bryan got down there quick for Bryan. He's able to beat out the relay, and it'll be a 6-4 force. Here's Stahl now, 0 for 1. Segui out of the stretch. Pitch to Larry Stahl is a 5-6 left-hand. That's a hard ground ball to second base. Savarin shovels to Brinkman. On to Chance. Double play. 4-6-3 double play ends the inning. And down go the Athletics in the 4th. I'll tell you this, Michael, I'm an oatmeal guy. Oatmeal with fruit. Usually raisins, but sometimes I'll vary it up a little bit. Okay. Don't mind me. I'm still getting used to this new writing pad that replaced my old one, which was much smaller. I'm still reading chat. Do you mean the athletes, Bill? I'm assuming you're talking about Wheaties sales? Bottom third of the order for Washington. Here's Casanova. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Talbot gets the sign from Bryan now. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 5-6 right-hander. It's a grounder to first base. Harrelson has it. He'll take it to the bag, and there's 1 out. What could be the last inning for Talbot here today. Here's Brinkman. Brinkman with that triple in the second. He came around to score. The pitch from Talbot is a 6-7 right-handed. It's a lazy fly ball into center field. Nosek ranging over and makes the grab 2 down. And here's Segui now. He'll bat. Right-handed hitter. 1-2. Liner to short, and he is out. It's a low max. In this case, the max is 1. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Talbot. Talbot, a 6-inning starter. He might stay in. We'll see how the inning plays out. He should get some slack for being the ERA leader, right? It's Green, Charles, and Nosek for Kansas City here as we go to the 5th inning. Dick Green doubled his first time up. Segui into the windup. That's going to be a 4-10 right-handed. Shallow fly ball into left. Here comes Howard lumbering in, still coming, just does catch up with it. And makes the catch for the first out. I have not had a triple play. Charles singled his first time up. The pitch from Diego Segui is a 5-9 right-handed. It's a grounder to shortstop X. That'll be Brinkman again, 2E29. Eddie into the hole. On a 9, it's the E range. It's a 10. On a 29. Fine stop in the hole by Brinkman. Strong throw across in time. 6-3 X. Boy, Brinkman had to get rid of that in a hurry to nip the speedy Charles at first. And with 2 down, the batter is Nosek. Nosek 0 for 1. Segui into the windup. That's going to be a 5-8 right-handed. It's a grounder to second base X. Tough chance for Savarin. He's a 4E24. And the play on a 19. Savarin behind the bag, turns and throws in time, and the side is retired. So it looks like Talbot will pitch at least one more inning. As we go to the bottom of the 5th. Okay, funny story time, all right? A thing popped up on my YouTube, link your channel, okay? So I linked it to Facebook, thinking, all right, maybe some people from Facebook will see it and they'll subscribe. I actually lost 2 subscribers. So that didn't work out. Don't worry, they'll be back. Okay, here's Valentine, 0 for 2. Talbot, ready to work now. Pitch to the left-hander is a 2-4. It's a high fly ball to right field. That's going to be down and into the corner. Chasing it down is Hirschberger. Valentine around second. He's headed for third, and he's in there with a leadoff triple. Second triple of the day for Washington. Let's take another look at it. It's a 2-4 homer to 5. He rolled to 9. And for Fred Valentine, his third triple of the season. And that's going to get him scurrying around in the Kansas City pen. Let me take a look at this Dixon, computer-only card. And he did pitch in the game in real life. That's Jim Dixon, the righty. He's not very good. A lot of right-handers do, though. They're going to get Lou Krause throwing. He also pitched in this game in real life. Only Wyatt unavailable for Kansas City. Okay, trailing by 4 already. Kansas City's going to pull the infield in for Bob Savarin. Runner at third, nobody out. Talbot into the windup, 2-7. It's a fly ball to center field, B question mark. I always get confused on the question mark. And he can attempt to score. So let's figure this out here now. So it's going to be the rating, the arm, plus 2. Fly to center, that's Nosek. He's a plus 1. Valentine, 16, 18, 19. He's going to tag, of course. Throw to the plate, barely in there on an 18, but he does score. On a sac fly to center by Savarin. And that makes it 6-1. And greetings to Gerald. I still get confused between the difference of a fly ball B question mark to third base and when it's to right, when there's a runner on second and it's hit to right field. Maybe this would be a good cue for Ben to chime in. So here's Don Locke now. Locke has been up twice today, and he's blasted it out of the park both times. Talbot, first pitch way outside, pitching carefully to Locke, now set. Comes in there with a 6-3 right-handed. It's a ground ball to the pitcher X. Talbot a 4E15. Here's the result of that play. On a 9, it's the E range. So the roll is an 8. On a 15, he makes the play and throws him out. 1-3X, that's 2 away. So on a B question mark, it can be to any field, though, correct, Ben? It doesn't have to be to right field. Example, the play that just occurred. Runner at third, fly ball B question to center. He can tag up, correct? And second to third is a B only. And that's the one where they can only be out on a 20. So here's Howard, 0 for 2, 2 away. Talbot comes in with a 3-7, struck him out. Howard caught looking for the second time today. That's it for Washington, but they tack on a run on Valentine's triple and a sac fly. And after 5 innings of play, it's 6-1 Senators. And that's going to be the end of the line for Talbot. American League ERA leader Talbot getting cuffed around a little bit today. He will leave the game for a pinch hitter as we move to the 6th. So Talbot, hang on a second here. That's in the wrong place. So we're going to have a batter. For Talbot. Talbot worked 5 innings. Allowed 2, 3, 5, 6 hits, 6 runs. 2 2-run homers to Locke doomed him. He only walked 1. Struck out a pair. Krause will be the next pitcher in. And against Segui, they've got Kansas City has 4 catchers. I just noticed that. So we could use a catcher or even 2 to pinch hit. But we're going to use Ozzie Chavaria in this spot. Seems like a good choice. And he also pinch hit in this game in real life. So here's Chavaria. Let's check his stats on the season. 302. That's right, 16 for 53. A 302 average, does not have a home run. Right-handed hitter. Segui comes in there with a 2-6, struck him out. Chavaria down on strikes. That'll turn the lineup over, and here's Wayne Causey now. And greetings to Joe Horlin. Pitch to Causey's a 4-9 left-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Strikeout number 3 for Diego Segui. 2 down, and here's Hawk Harrelson. Segui into the windup. 2-8 right-handed, struck him out, and Segui strikes out the side. 1, 2, 3 go the Athletics. And so far today, it's all Washington, 6-1. Need a new pitcher here for Kansas City. That's going to be Lou Krause. Krause has been in 8 games, 2-2 with an ERA of 5 even in 9 innings of work. He'll be looking at Chance, McMullen, and Casanova as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Bob Chance 0 for 1 with a walk in this one. Krause set to go now. Here's the pitch to Chance on a 3-5. Struck him out. Shylock rings him up. 1 down. Here's McMullen now, 0 for 2. Krause into the windup. Pitch to Ken McMullen on a 2-7 right-hander, a double to 3, and look at that. That gets by Stahl. That's going to roll to the wall, and McMullen's going to be in the second standing with a 1-out double. That'll bring up the catcher, Paul Casanova, who's 0 for 2 today. Krause, the check of the runner. There's the pitch to Paul. It's a 4-8 right-handed fly ball to straightaway left field. There's Stahl waiting for it to come down and makes the grab for out number 2. That'll bring up steady Eddie Brinkman, 1 for 2 with the triple today. Krause gets the sign. The pitch is a 2-7 fly ball to center. Going back is Nosek. He's got it. And that'll end the 6th inning. No runs to hit, 1 left. Maybe somebody in the chat can help Joel out with that one. I've never used Card Viewer. I have the computer game, so I can get the cards that way. Segui rated 5 for endurance, entering his 3rd endurance inning now as we go to the 7th. Segui pitching a fine game today. And he'll face the heart of the Kansas City order here, starting off with Hirschberger, who's 1 for 2. Segui gets the sign from Casanova. Here's the pitch to Hirschberger on a 2-11. It's a foul ball left side. McMullen over there by the stands. He's got it. Here's Brian now. He's 0 for 2 today. Segui into the windup. 3-9 right-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And for Segui now, that is 5 strikeouts. 4 of them in the last 2 innings. 2 down, and here's Larry Stahl. Stahl 0 for 2. Segui set. Here's the pitch on a 3-5 right-handed. Struck him out looking. And Segui now has struck out 5 of the last 6 batters he's faced. All since entering his endurance innings. How about that? So Segui, surprisingly, getting stronger as the game goes on. As we stretch for the 7th, it's all Senators today, 6-1. And this is a good time for me to take a short break. As usual, we'll take a look in on Mookie the Cat, and I'll top off my coffee. And, of course, no surprises here. There he is. Mookie. No, he's not budging. All right, I'll be right back. There we go. I'm going to heat that up. And thank you, Ben, for the answers on the fly ball B there. No one else using the Card Viewer app, huh? And welcome, Steve May, and thank you for that bit of trivia. I did not know that. Seattle Pilots, one of baseball's more interesting stories. Seguy's going to bat. If you're surprised he's still in this game, welcome to the club. Krause will begin his second inning of work, and here's the pitch to the right-handed Seguy on a 5-5, and he walks him. Krause walks Diego Seguy to lead off the inning. And that's going to bring up Valentine. Nobody throwing in the Kansas City pen, trailing by 5. They'll probably just let Krause get some work. Valentine 1 for 3, hitting left-handed. The pitch on a 4-7 is a ground ball to second base to Green. He's got it. Throws to Kazi for 1, to Harrelson 2. It's a double play, 4-6-3. And the runner is erased. And Seguy probably happy just to go sit down. Two down, and here's Savarin, 2 for 2 today. Pitch from Krause on a 3-5 right hand. Little comebacker. Krause has it. Takes a couple of steps towards first and tosses it to Harrelson for the third out. We've played 7 here in Washington, and it's 6-1 Senators. Senators once again looking for the sweep of the 3-game series here. And Seguy, a 5-inning starter, finds himself with a relatively good chance going the distance here today. Isn't he, though, Franklin? Still growing. As we go to the 8th inning, it's going to be Green, Charles, and Nosek for Kansas City. Dick Green 1 for 2 on the day. Seguy into the windup. It's going to be a 3-12 right-handed. It's a grounder to first base X. Tough play for Chance, a 4-30. And here's the play. On a 13 error range. It's an 8 on a 30, and he boots it, not surprisingly. First error of the ball game. That puts Green aboard. Green not held at 16, but a very minimal chance to get the lead, so Charles will hit away. He's 1 for 2. Seguy from the stretch comes into Charles with a 4-9 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. And what has gotten into this Seguy? That's 6 Ks in the last 3 innings. 7 in the ball game. He struck out 1 in the first 5 innings. 6 since then. And here's Nosek. Seguy out of the stretch. Pitch to Nosek is going to be a 6-6, and he loses in ball 4. That'll push Charles over to second, 2 on, 1 away, and we'll have a pinch hitter now for Krause. So Krause worked 2 innings today. He gave up 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Jose Tartabull has been announced as the pinch hitter. And for Kansas City, they are going to bring in Lindblad. So here's Tartabull. Tartabull, by the way, leads the American League in hitting at .391. No homers, but 20 RBIs. First and second, one away, and now we've got some activity in the Washington pen. Dick Lines and Bob Humphreys, a lefty and a righty. Segui facing the left-handed hitting Tartable, and here's the pitch on a 5-9. It's a grounder to shortstop X. This could be two. That's Brinkman again, 2E29. The roll on the play on an 11. That's going to be a 6 on a 29, and that's going to be an error on Brinkman, and the bases are loaded. Holy cow. 2 errors in the inning. Only the walk counts against Segui's endurance. How many coming into this game? Well, let's take a look at that, Steve. Coming into the game, Segui had 13 strikeouts in 18 innings. Casanova out to the mound now. I'm just looking at some possibilities here. They're going to give him one more batter. So Segui will pitch to Wayne Causey, who's 0 for 3 on the day. Bases loaded, one away. Segui should be out of this inning. But it's bases loaded, one away, and here's Causey, and here's the pitch from Segui. It's a 2-8 right-handed. It's a ground ball to first base. That's going to be Chance down to Brinkman for 1. Back to first, not in time, and a run will score on the 3-6 force. So Green crosses the plate to make it 6-2. Nosek down to third, and there's 2 away. And the batter will be Hawk Harrelson. Segui gets the sign, very deliberate now. The pitch to Harrelson on a 3-4 right-handed. He struck him out. Called strike 3. Shylock rings him up. Harrelson doesn't like it. Mutters something to Shylock as he walks away. But that'll end the inning, and the Kansas City Athletics settle for a run on no hits and leave a pair. You can tell I'm giving Segui every opportunity to try to finish it himself. It's not going to be easy. You don't get many complete games out of S5s. Still So Paul Lindblad, the left-hander, will come in and take over the pitching for Kansas City. Lindblad on the year, 5-0 with a 2.33 ERA. He's been the vulture of the staff, 19 1/3 innings. Does not have a save, but he's picked up 5 wins in relief. For this point in the season, that's a boatload. Don Locke will lead it off. Locke with 2 home runs on the day. Lindblad, the left-hander, ready to go to work now. The pitch to Locke is a 2-7 lefty. Single to 5 on a 16. That's stopped by a diving Green at second. Gets up and throws him out. Nice play, Green. And the batter will be Frank Howard. Lindblad into the windup. That's going to be a 4-8 right-handed, and if Howard bangs it into left field for a line drive single. Let's see, Howard now. Howard's going to exit for defense anyway. So we might as well bring Kirkland in now to run for him, and he'll take over in left. Kirkland 2E5 minus 2. He's a 12 runner. Not a great runner, but still a significant improvement over Howard's 1 through 8. Here's Chance now. They are leading, but do you really let Chance hit against Lindblad? Or any lefty for that matter. Probably not. The only other first baseman is Nan, who did come into this game to hit and play first base in real life, so we're going to do the same. Nan also a left-handed hitter, but a better first baseman, and unlike Chance, in case you missed it, Chance against a lefty, absolutely nothing on the card. His chance against Lindblad is to roll on Lindblad's card. So here's Nan, runner at first, one away, left on left. Lindblad comes in there with a 4-7, and Nan rips it into right field for a single. Kirkland rounds and heads for third. And the Senators will have runners at the corners with one out. And Ken McMullen coming up. 6-2 Washington here in the 8th inning. McMullen 1 for 3, infield at double play depth. Pitch to McMullen is a 6-6, and it's a double play. Ground ball to shortstop. Causey to Green to Harrelson. That'll do it. Lindblad gets out of the jam. He's bailed out there by the double play. No runs, 2 hits, a man left. We're going to the 9th, a 6-2 game, Senators leading. I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone for watching. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate having you guys. Helps me out more than you could know, really. Especially around holiday time, which to me is just a very depressing time of the year. And Diego Segui going for the complete game. Lyons and Humphreys sit down. Ron Klein takes the jacket off, starts tossing lightly just in case. It'll be Mike Hirschberger to lead things off. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Segui into the windup. Pitch to Hirschberger is a 4-10 right-handed. It's a shallow fly ball to left. On comes Kirkland. He just does catch up with it. That's one. Here's Billy Bryan now, the cleanup man, 0 for 3. Segui into the windup. That's going to be a 6-6 left-handed, and he loses him ball 4. 1 out walk to Bryan. Very slow runner, but his run does not matter. And the batter will be Larry Stahl. Larry 0 for 3 on the day. Segui trying to go the distance here, working out of the stretch. Fastball, 4-9 left-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Segui on a strikeout tear the last 4 innings. And the Athletics down to their last out. It'll be team RBI leader Dick Green. He's 1 for 3 today. Segui checks the runner. There's the pitch to Green on a 2-7. Single 2 stars into right field. That will allow Brian to take third. And now one more hitter walk will fatigue Segui. And Klein getting ready in a hurry now. Looking ahead to a possible save situation. Ed Charles will be the hitter. He's 1 for 3. Casanova out to the mound now. Segui says he's okay. But we know, of course he's going to say that. He wants the complete game. He's 1 out away from it. They say, okay, they're going to let him face Charles. Segui checks the runner. The pitch to Ed Charles is a 1-8 right-handed, and he loses in ball 4. The bases are loaded, and Segui is tired. So Klein's going to come in after all. Who'd have expected that? Game 6-1 through 7. 6-2 after 8. Did not expect to see Ron Klein today. But a big round of applause for Segui as he leaves the mound. He allowed 3. Only 4 hits for Segui today. How about that? He walked 3, all in the last 2 innings. And the strikeouts again, 1 through 5, but then 4, 6, 7, 8. He ended up with 9. So quite a day for Segui. Klein, the closer, 3-0 with 3 saves. Six to 2, bases loaded, tying run at the plate. Is it going to be Nosek? Can they do any better? They can at least get somebody up there with some power. Do they have another outfielder? And we could use Stone if necessary. So the batter for Nosek is going to be Tim Talton. Talton used very sparingly in this replay. Just 0 for 2, all as a pinch hitter. We'll have to write him in over here. Talton, a left-handed hitter, a lot of power on the card. Bases loaded, 2 down. The pitch from Klein is a 2-6 line drive, speared at first by Nan, and that's the ball game. Athletics leave the bases loaded, 6-2 Washington, the final. We'll have the totals momentarily. Exactly, save situation with the bases loaded. So a 1-out save for Klein. That is his, what did I say? That's his 4th. Diego Segui, of course, with the win, squares his record at 2-2. Talbot takes the loss, drops to 3-2. Lindblad worked 1 inning, 2 hits, no runs. No walks, no strikeouts. Segui charged with both runs, 1 unearned. And Klein got the line out. Yeah, it's the player of the game is either Don Locke or Diego Segui. I'm inclined to give it to both of them. Mike C likes that. Franklin likes Segui, Bill likes Locke, Mike likes them both, and that's what I like. That's what I'm going to say. Segui, for an S5 starter to go 8 2/3, that's impressive all by itself, plus he only allowed 4 hits. And Locke with a 2-homer, 4 RBI game, that speaks for itself. The totals on the game, the Senators in winning, 6 runs, 9 hits, they made 2 errors. Athletics, 2 runs, just 4 hits, no errors. Yeah, I'd be a little more serious about it if it meant something. But the player of the game, just for fun. That's going to do it for me. Let's take a look on the schedule here. Look at tomorrow's game. We're going to move on to May 26th, and the first game on the slate is the Minnesota Twins at the Boston Red Sox. Mudcat Grant for the Twins, Earl Wilson for the Sox. So join me for that one, 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern. I'm going to get out of here now, and you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for being here. Take care, everybody.